never been hit like that, genuinely, in my career. I honestly felt like someone had climbed through my body, bro.
More or nothing.
Hello and welcome to this week's special episode of More or Nothing with Ryan, Max, and later on in the show we'll be joined by none other than the fabulous winning Scotland captain Sione Tuipulotu to take us through what was a very good weekend for all things Scottish. Hey, Ryan. Speaking of which, how was your week?
Oh, you say this is a special episode. It's not. It's just a normal episode, isn't it? It's just a normal
but we've got the
episode.
Scotland captain, and it's during the autumn
that is pretty
internationals.
special. Yeah, you're right. It is special, actually, then, on that. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm all right, boys. I'm all right. I'm a little bit dusty today. I've been good throughout the autumns. I haven't kicked the arse out of every game. I've gone home and, like, I even had a pint of 0% Guinness or whatever you call it. Max, have you had one of them?
No.
I thought it was a completely pointless thing, like absolutely pointless. What's the point?
Yeah.
Calories.
But do you know what? They're actually pretty good. Really nice. I like it. But last night I didn't drink those. I drank real Guinness. So yeah, a little bit dusty. Me and Barks had a couple to celebrate the autumns, the end of the autumns for us. So it's been enjoyable. TNT. My first, international appearance for the autumns. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I did get caught a little bit in towards the end. I don't know if either of you watched it, but when we were doing sort of the debrief after the game, and they're like in my ear, they're going, Ryan, just keep an eye on the screen, watch what's coming up, and I'm like, oh shit, like when you're trying to talk, Mark, and you've got people talking in your ears, and so you're like. That's when James Haskell had that moment where he's like,
I can came back up on my feed. That is great.
So I'm talking. They're like, okay, just keep your eyes on the screen. I'm thinking, what is it? And then it's me celebrating, doing Frank the Tank. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, what is going on? Then me dancing. So they had a camera on me, and then they basically showed it live on TV. So I got a bit caught up there, but bloody good win for Scotland. And I'm sure we'll talk about the other games. More importantly, Max, have you been training last week? What were you up to?
Spot of training, yeah. Just getting ready for the big one. We're into it, gentlemen. We got Quins on Friday away. Then we got Leinster. Then La Rochelle away. It just never stops. We're in a big block of games now.
Bloody hell!
Strap on your tin hats. Fasten your bayonets. Europe is upon us.
Do you know what? We never actually got to chat about it. I can't remember why. Did we chat about it? Did we talk about it? Tom Jordan coming to Bristol.
We did.
Yes, we've mentioned Tom. I thought you were going to talk about the fact that we are hopefully all going to enjoy watching Max together. I mean, you're going to be working, and I'm going to hopefully come and make
We
it
will,
over.
because yes, Premier Sport, we've got the Champions Cup. So I will be down there for Max's game. I'm so excited. I've got 3 games. Bath, La Rochelle, Glasgow Sale, and then Sunday. It's Sunday, isn't it? Sunday. Yeah. Bristol versus Leinster next week.
I'm genuinely dreading that. I want nothing to do with you. Stay well away from me. I don't want... No,
say that.
Don't. Yeah, you know.
Don't say that. You're going to love it. I can't wait. I'm so excited. On another note, I know we said I'm not allowed to talk about golf, but I went and played golf with Nic White this week.
How is he?
Oh yeah, how is he? Is he well?
Oh, he's a lovely
cash still bushy as?
Yeah. No, he said he was trimming it, and he took the wrong thing out, nicked the sides off, so he only had a short lash. Because I said to him, mate, what's going on? But it was beautiful. He came down with his old man to North Berwick. Which is like up there, Max, in terms of prestige. It's very,
really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
I wouldn't take you there.
Okay, yeah. We're not with my boots, yeah, the dealer boots.
Not with the dealer boots. This bloke wearing dealer boots on a golf course. Like, can you believe it, Matt? Dealer boots on a golf course. But we took him down there. We did a bit of filming. Lovely bloke. Bloody love Nic White. So it was good to catch up with him, and then obviously caught up with a few of the Aussie boys after the game. But yeah, that's about all I've been doing in the week. When you're hungover today, you start like really questioning a lot of things.
Ugh,
You know?
The demons. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's more just like I started having real deep thoughts. I just more like
Like questions of life, existential questions?
yeah, like what are we doing here? What am I even doing?
What in terms of like as a man, like what you're doing, like what is your purpose? What edifies you?
Yeah.
No, trust me. Don't linger too long on those, old boy, because then it can get pretty sketchy pretty quickly.
Right, that's the beauty of ADHD is your brain can just move straight on. Lock all those little thoughts away, mate.
Yeah.
Years of private school, chucking it back there in the safe. I need to bring
Mark, what have you been up to? More importantly, by the way, I won't jumped into the comments, and don't forget, algorithm people, comments. Thank you again this week. They've been driving us. They're the engine to our ship. They are the Max. Give me something like the rudder. They're the rudder.
The rudder.
They are the diesel to our engine. The comments. They're what get us going. Say something, Max.
The comments are the catalyst to our success.
Yeah, fine.
Much nicer.
That's fine.
The rudder to our stuff.
They're what you know. They're. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to go there. But thank you very much. Keep wading into the comments. But we've lost the bloke that calls you Bargain Pimpano.
He's disappeared.
Where is he? Well, he's not wading in there. So where are you? Come back. Come and pick Mark.
Come here.
Please. Pretty please.
We had some good comments.
Have I done something to hurt you?
Yeah.
Why not be? Some great comments. Some really good ones.
So keep them in there. We do reply, and we're going to read some of them out. The first thing, I don't know whether we start with. Yeah, I think we should. One of the first questions I saw in there, what do you think about the Player of the Year nominations? And should we just quickly touch on the awards? Should we go for it? Let's go for it, Mark.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's. As we know, well, you may or may not know, and in case you haven't, and you've woken up to the news that the South African juggernaut that is Pieter Steph du Toit has been crowned the World Rugby Player of the Year. Not huge surprises, maybe, but the other nominees: Caelan Doris, Eben Etzebeth, and Cheslin Colby. Thoughts, fellas?
I kind of wanted Eben to win it just because of his record-setting appearances in the Springbok shirt, going by who's gone before in the sort of lock position of the great legends of South African rugby. But well, let's be honest, Pieter Steph is very, very much worthy of such a prestigious award.
Who picks him?
I don't know, some kind of paneling of very, very well-read rugby men. No, I don't know. Is it like
Ugo Monye? It's Ugo, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Ugo just picks him on the day, does he? He's just up on stage.
No, he's not on his own.
Yeah, he was at the club. He was at the club the other day doing some media for TNT, talking to Gabs Toy, obviously Flavour of the Month and all that. And he's actually really like very passionate and really reads into everything. He does his research hard, so.
It's like us.
All the stats, like exactly like us, right?
Exactly like us.
No, he's like maniacal about it. Fair play to them.
Yeah, here we go, guys. We've got, the Jacques Burger. Do you remember, obviously, the Saracens dude, Namibian? Thierry Dusautoir, Victor Matfield, Fiona Coughlin, Drew Mitchell, Ugo Monye, Kieran Reid, Melody Robertson, and Blaine Scully are the panel.
Oh, there you are. I wonder if one of us will be on there one day. That'd be good. Pieter Steph though, deserved winner. I think he's good. Okay, next, who we got?
I think he's good. Can I?
To be fair,
I think he's quite good.
It is good, but I forgot to mention this bit. He only plays like 40 minutes of rugby every week, so it's easy. It's actually easy when all you do is play 40, 50 minutes. Mate, rugby is a lot easier.
Also, he won it. He's won it in 2019.
Yeah,
I think Eben.
That's why he maybe should have given it to Eben. Then they're about.
Just share the love. Eben deserves it. He's an all-court threat. He can run the line out. He can do the hard carries. Freaky athlete all over the field, like a weird synergy of Backies and Victor Matfield. I just think he's very much. That just would have been nice, you know. But
wonder if a prop will ever win it. Because I reckon that
they'd have to really like Ox's obviously. I think there was some murmurings of Oxenchae being in that sort of in the feed, but I think it's difficult just given how little they play in comparison to some other positions on the field. It'd be difficult to be justifying a position, but then
Angus Bell would be in contention if everyone carried like Angus Bell.
Yeah, but Angus Bell,
the way he plays the game.
But he's struggling in the set piece at the moment.
Yeah,
like he is like he did struggle a little bit against.
That's because he's without his big Nella. Without his big Taniela on the other side.
Yeah, but I thought Alan did well against Pierre. I thought he did well against Shuey. He had him on toast at the beginning, and then Zander sort of managed to wrestle dominance back. But I think it'd be difficult for a prop. I think if Nella can throw some games together and get fit, he might be one of those guys as well. But I think Ox is definitely the front runner for such an award. Maybe in some sort of next couple of years, he could be one of the guys to break it.
Breakthrough player, Sititi, definitely, happy with that. He is being immense, hasn't he, throughout the autumns? Wallace Sititi. As Max, you okay?
No, I'm just thinking of other breakthrough guys, like who was also on that list. Is it just with
hopefully Mark has them. Hopefully Mark has them. Mark.
Oh yeah, I've got them. They're right here. I did actually have them. Emmanuel Feyo Boso. That was the other one of the other ones.
Strong, but I think who else?
If it was
Jamie
Osborne
and Sasha Feinberg. I'm going to butcher this. Ngoma Yeah.
He was
Feinberg and Ngoma. Yeah. If I tell you what, if there had been a bit more time, Tom Jordan could have been on that list as well. Breakthrough player for Scotland.
I also think Cam Roygard, by the way,
Cam Roygard, yeah. So there's not been enough time, but let's move on because Wallace Sititi, we're happy with that. And the Sevens player, he comes in, he smash grabs it out of order. Think of all Sevens players, they're going to be so pissed off, but shock, Anton Dupont. Happy with that?
The Midas touch. Eh?
Shouldn't he have been like player in the World Player of the Year?
Yeah. When you said the list, I just assumed he was in there.
Do you think they've gone, we're going to give him the sevens anyway, rather than, the guy like literally walked through the top 14 and the Champions Cup and then the sevens. Just I'll do it. Whatever he touched went to gold.
No disrespect to the sevens. Oh God, when you say that, it's obviously going to disrespect someone. But no disrespect to the sevens. But you'd rather win World Player of the Year, 15th Player of the Year than the sevens Player of the Year, wouldn't you?
It depends if you're a sevens player.
Well, but in Dupont, but in Dupont's terms, he's going.
In Dupont's position,
So if they have done what you've said, Mark, and gone, we'll give him the sevens one, so we can give someone else the 15s one. He's going to be well pissed off.
I don't know. It's still incredibly impressive that he's gone to a sport that's pretty specialised now, I'd say.
Well, and he pretty much won the coach. He pretty much won the Coach of the Year award for the Coach of the Year because am I right in saying it's the French sevens coach?
Jérôme Darret, yeah.
So Jérôme, what's his name?
Jérôme Darret.
Thank you very much, Anton Dupont. You won me a prize.
Yeah, I suppose we could. I'll probably second that. It would be difficult, difficult to look past. No, but I don't understand all the intimacies, like all the intricacies. Sorry, of sevens. I'm sure he was a huge reason that galvanized France to Olympic glory, hosting the competition, etc. But when it comes down to it, Rassie Erasmus has done something quite unprecedented. He's completed rugby. Let's be honest. He's changed the game in lots of respects. He's sort of harnessed and developed a team of sort of 3 different lineups that could play against anyone in the world. And back-to-back world champs, difficult to look past. He's quite...
And he's evolved South Africa. Like they're not, we've always sort of gone traditionally Route 1, all that sort of stuff. And now they're like, you got galloping locks running in from Mars. You got freaking wingers who are brilliant. It's just awesome.
He's an innovator, sports psychologist. It's difficult to look past Rassie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So why is he not?
potentially it's the best.
When did he win it last year? Did Rassie win it last year?
No, he hasn't won it since 2019.
Mate,
it was Andy Farrell last year.
Sorry, but that is mental, and we are going to keep our South African fans happy in here. Wade into the comments and tell us how puss cack that is. Because that's mental. I think Rassie should have had it. What was that? The 51st player he's used or something this year with South Africa.
But maybe there's a narrative to say like France were nowhere before.
Well, we could still want. It was their first. It was their first rugby championship since whenever it was proper one.
Yeah, no. Hold on. Yeah, this is that. Okay.
Anyway,
we're never going to be on the board. We're never going to be on the board of the World Rugby thing now because we just slagged all their decisions off. What have we done? What have we done?
We do enjoy burning the odd bridge, unfortunately. But that's not. I'm not an architect of that. You usually
whatever.
Okay, I'll join in. That's the dynamite, boys.
All right, fabulous. Let's move on to England versus Japan. Oh, I'm throwing my laptop all over the place. England versus Japan. Can we just admit Sam Underhill is the 7 England need? I don't know why I'm starting with that, but that was my first thought on that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was only Japan.
Was that it?
Didn't he? Wait, what time? Wait, he went off early, didn't he?
Yeah, but I just wanted. He was just.
Yeah, no, I agree with sentiment. We went through this before. He's England's werewolf when he puts on the white jumper and the red rose. But I think he is that guy. He's clearly a test match animal. Something happens to him on these international games. But it's a difficult spot right now because England are sort of congested, if you like, in terms of that position with how much of the same sort of bat rower is the
Okay. So it was completely leading. The reason I've got us into this is completely leading because one of our viewers wants to know your thoughts, boys, on Ted Hill. So I had to start it somewhere to make it not look like a completely ridiculous segue. And genuinely, it's what we think Sam Underhill is the 7 England need. Do you think Ted Hill brings something different?
Yeah, I like Ted Hill. I think he's awesome. He's been incredible for football. I think you need him in there. Definitely. He's a completely different player to Sam Underhill, isn't he, Ted Hill?
Yeah, he's more of a he's really
ranger, ball carrier, big hitter.
Yeah, he's a classic. He's more classically like a sort of 6 / can do a job in the second row just because of how much of a freak athlete he is. Should he be in there? Absolutely. But right now, the flavour is Chandler Cunningham himself for that position. So
and who's been good, isn't he?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a highlight reel master. Like he can do things that few athletes can on a rugby field. However, I think he does go in and out of games. It'd be cool to see a guy like him get more involvements, get more carries, because when he is on ball, he is quite destructive and dominant. But Teddy Hill does also some very, very strange, fruity things on a rugby pitch, which are quite glorious to sort of watch.
Speaking of strange, fruity things, if you watch the game, do you see Sleightholme's first try? Can we give some props to the prop, Will Stuart?
Oh, man, what a game from the Big Stew. Big Stewie, get your Radley alumni in
Radley
there.
College of England. Will Stuart galloping through the middle, inch perfect miss pass. Come on.
Yeah, I did worry. I didn't know if that pass was on the money, but I'm just annoyed that Sleightholme's wearing yellow boots, boys. Who's he become? Who does he think he is now?
Is he gone from you loved him for how humble his boots were, and now he's gone Billy Big Balls because he's just changed.
There's something about him. There's a humility about him I quite like. He's no nonsense. He's tough nosed. He's still.
The humble bump. That's his move. The humble bump.
That tell you what, that finish, the way he gets the ball onto his foot and then manages to gas it. There was a few of those. Freeman's ball behind the back.
Yeah.
And everyone's England really clicking there. The
was.
Japanese were really disappointing.
It's not the Japanese side that we know, right? And it was a very inexperienced Japanese side. It didn't have as many caps nearly. So,
but do you know what? Can you imagine being a fly on the wall? Do you reckon Eddie goes through them like he does, like he did the England players? Like, do you reckon he's got the same sort of tactics in there? It was a very different group.
Apparently, last round he had them. It was like what they were waving the white flag. They were like, "Get this man out!" Apparently.
Oh, really?
Dying. Yeah, apparently he was cooking them.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah. I heard anyway.
I reckon he might be different. Like, people are different in different. Like, I'm different when I'm French. Like, as in, he might be different being Japanese because he's obviously half Japanese. I reckon he might.
What are you sexy when you're French or something? I can imagine Mark being like, I'm so much sexier when I'm French.
Yeah, it's just so much better in bed.
Oh, I bet you do that, don't you? Do you talk to me as a French man? You do, don't you? He does. Look at his face, Max. Oh,
I don't.
Mon chéri.
Right.
No. Let's move. Okay, hold on. I want to do something as we move through these games. Okay, so England, Max, just autumn tests. Where are they? Like, what have you got from England these autumn tests?
I think as we can say it hasn't been a sort of a great victory. Overall, this campaign would be seen as probably a negative sort of feather to their hat. However, they're close. They're very close. And I think there's lots to be optimistic about. Although I had this thought, lads, I did have this thought, and I was thinking the other day, I was like, if Marcus Smith wasn't playing at 10, would England be anywhere near scoring as many points as they did? When you just think about how instrumental he was to some tries that probably shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And it was down to his sort of cerebral genius and Midas touch that he could pull some of these things off. But it's all hypothetical at this point, and it's all hindsight. But yeah, I think they just tighten up the D, a few tweaks to the set piece here and there, and I think they're in a strong place. But I think performers stand out. Marcus Smith, stock straight up. He's hot, real hot right now. Will Stuart, I think there was a lot of sort of debate about whether he was the tight head going forward. I think he's had a really strong campaign, and I think he's made that jersey his own. He's been quite brilliant. He's managed to weasel out some great decisions at the scrum time. I think he's been solid there as well. Those would be my guys. Yeah.
So we're basically rounding up England, the nearly maybes.
Yeah.
Just couldn't quite get it done in the big three games.
But I still think they'll have a reasonable chance at Six Nations, in the Six Nations.
Also, Eddie Jones has said that he's got his own book out called Caring About Care. So you'll get all the details in there, apparently. Just so we know. He did. He was asked about the whole thing. He said, "Oh, mate, I'll tell you, mate. I've got a new book deal. I just signed it today. It's going to be called Caring About Care, and you'll get all the details in there."
Yeah, that's quite funny. You've got to like it. You've got to like him for that.
I love that shit.
He's class. He's popcorn, that bloke.
It's so good. Please, okay, so let's move on to Wales versus South Africa. No real surprises in the result. Right, South Africa are simply the most dominant rugby team on earth. Discuss.
Yes. I mean, France, yeah. But I wish we'd seen them play.
That would have been it, wouldn't it?
I wish.
Would have been inclusive.
I was sort of looking at it, I suppose I was looking at it, and I wrote this down actually. How can they structure the autumns different? Because even for me with Scotland, it was like Fiji without some of their best players. Then it was a big test against South Africa. Then it was Portugal, which was just like a load of, and then it was Australia. And you're like, how do you structure it different? But then I suppose it becomes a competition, which is not really what it is. But I just wish we had seen, those two go at it, because then you always wonder. Who is, how would that have gone? But South Africa are just another level.
I think South Africa would have got that done.
Would have.
I think so.
Oh, fuck.
I just think that
this is it
in terms of
you're wondering.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely, it does, and it would have been great to see. But I just think overall 80-minute control of a game. I just don't think France have sort of displayed that when they've come up against they've won. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's hard when you've got that much meat coming off the bench who are just so technically astute all the time. Whereas France are still blooding younger guys, new guys coming in. Uni Antonio, sadly, retiring from French rugby. A big round of applause for the big fella. Huge loss, but yeah.
That's a bit.
To be fair, also big word on France. They saw off Argentina. Argentina have had what would be deemed a relatively good autumn in as far as could have beaten Ireland and beat Italy easily, but France don't count them off, mate.
All right. But let's stay in South Africa. Let's not jump all over the place. ADHD brains, please.
Sorry.
South Africa, Wales. South Africa, we knew they were going to get it done.
We did.
They are probably one of they are, I think, the most dominant team in the world at the moment. Whether they beat France, we don't know.
What is it? Rugby Championship done. Grand Slam Tour, Autumn Internationals done. Rassie, King, yeah.
But Rassie didn't get Coach of the Year, which is mental. But we're not going to go back on that point. Wales, on the other hand, boys, with Gatland. I mean, they've said. Am I right in saying that? Did I see something today saying that he had resigned after the Six Nations if he was going to resign? Did I see that come out today? I'm not sure I did. He said something about it, but they're sticking with him, letting him go through the Six Nations. But I don't know. People are saying, at least they showed some fight, and yeah, they did, but you'd hope so because they scored a couple of tries towards the end. But that's always sort of happens, doesn't it? When a team gets away, things open up. Wales are in a bit of a hole, and even when you look around the Principality, it's not a sellout. The back-to-back world champs are in town. Think of what that used to be like back in the day at Principality.
Well, unfortunately, people don't want to watch their team get pummeled. But we didn't actually ever get to the bottom of this. I was very clear. I don't think there's anybody better than Gatland. Whatever Ryan, you disagreed. Max, you were on the fence. Wales's first winless year since 1937. Is there someone better? Would it make even the slightest bit of difference?
Yeah, I think you've got to do something. You've got to get someone else in there. And like we said last week, we don't want people to lose their jobs. For me, though, it's just if you go into the Six Nations not knowing again, you've got to try and do something. Try and spark some sort of, some sort of excitement back into that squad. Because like they said, they've got a young squad. I think bit weird.
But then what's the point of bringing somebody in?
By the way, coming over after the game, did you see that? Talking with them, saying we were at that point at one stage a couple of years ago. That is a fucking lie. They were not in the stage that fucking Wales are in right now.
No, but they were in a pretty bad rut in 2018, mate. They were pretty bad.
Wales are just going through it. They're just going through that stage. A lot of young players. They're gonna learn. They're gonna grow. I think. Does it deserve a new coach potentially? Someone who wants to come in with an energy that sort of matches that youthful exuberance that's kind of displayed all over that squad. Could be a shout. Could be what sort of catalyzes change, if you like.
But Bigger and Warburton said though. But like Bigger and Warburton said on TV, who would come in? What coach would come in? That's the
no one's gonna. It's a
I think Steve
I genuinely
Tandy's a
think
good
he's spent
shout.
all these things. He's apparently a great guy, right? But is he going to have the factor to upturn something that Gatland, who's just put these people through this horrible meat grinder, these young kids, and then get somebody else in to then try his own version of it with new players? Because that's what
I don't think anyone. Yeah, but no one expects massive, significant whole-scale change in a year, do they? Realistically, does anyone expect that?
Yeah, but you've had the year now, right? So do you start again? That's what it would be, right?
Yeah, but there's still going to be experiences gained and sort of learned from this year for those players individually. And those guys they're going to be around for a while. There's a lot of young people in that squad, and those are sort of the best that Wales have at this point. So I don't think they're off. It'd
be interesting to find out what the actual players thought. Not in the media.
Like Dowie and
actually get in behind the scenes, sit down, have a coffee with the
See
boys.
what the crack is,
What's the actual crack? Because you find out a lot of the times behind the scenes, they'll be saying, like England have, and their captain comes out, and like Dowie Lake comes out and says, but you find that a bit more when you go behind the scenes. So let's do some digging, Max.
That's your job, boys. Come on.
Right, boys, it's that time of the week. We've got to thank the sponsors. The sponsor, that is Wolf Craig Distillers. Max, they had to head over to the website, which is
wolfcraig.com.
Give me the Been with us all the way. You can head over there, wolfcraig.com, grab yourself a lovely bottle of whiskey or gin, of course. And we just want to say a big thank you to them. They've been with us the whole Autumn Nation series. They've been with us all the way. We're wading into the next round of Prem Games, Champions Cup, 1872 Cup matches, Christmas, the lot. So if you need to grab someone a nice little present for Christmas, jump over there, wolfcraig.com. Yeah, baby.
Well, we are delighted to have back on the show Scotland captain, the winning boy, Sione Tuipulotu. How you doing?
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me. I'm good, mate. I'm back home in Glasgow now, so back here for the week. Got a week off, so it was a good win yesterday.
Oh, a week off without the missus and the baby as well.
Yeah, I know, but I'm with the girl gang this week, just with my mum and my gran, so I'm sure we'll have something to do.
What? Your gran's there? I didn't know your name.
You don't have a gran? You guys got a gran?
Oh, mate, honestly, Nons, I've got to say, like that social media thing though that went out in the week, it's obviously blown up. How good was that? Like, you genuinely had no idea, did you?
Nah, no idea, bro. We were just talking about it on the way back there. It was so funny yesterday when we went up to get the cup or whatever, the vase, and my gran was there, and I was just thinking to myself, I swear Princess Anne usually does that job. And I was like, I can't believe my gran handed me this cup.
Oh, so good though, so good. It's like if there wasn't enough, she's up there with the Hopetoun trophy, like, here you are, son. Oh, mate.
He kept cutting to her the whole time there as well. It was great. Like, honestly, throughout the match, it was always just checking in.
She's a superstar. Boys, she's been replying to people on social media as well.
I told her she should make an Instagram and full on just start popping off on there.
Yeah.
Going live. She should start going live.
I guarantee you this week, I bet you any money someone creates a Sione's Nan account and it's out there.
Get her to open one first. 20,000 followers instantly.
Look, before we get onto the game, how were the celebrations last night? Did you take it easy? Couple of quiets?
No, it was good. It was a weird one because this campaign, just because of the 2 6-day turnarounds and then the Sunday to Saturday game, that we actually didn't have a chance to celebrate together after any of the games except last night. But even then, a lot of the boys, because they had to go back to France, or like Finn had to drive back to I think Bath, because it was Charlie's birthday. So it was actually wasn't the biggest crew, but for the boys that did stay back, we ripped in. It was good.
Yeah. Okay. So not the biggest crew, but Blair Kinghorn.
Yeah. Who do we have? Who are the A-listers?
Darcy Graham.
I don't want to say any names just in case they were supposed to be in training tomorrow.
Oh yeah, true.
The crew was good.
Yeah, see, TJ and that were gutted today. I saw him in the training Monday morning at Glasgow, and I was like, "You boys not have a few last night?" No, we were straight back, so they were gutted. What about Tooney getting loose?
Tooney after every campaign lets his hair down. So it's always nice to catch him we were drinking down in the cellar at the Kimpton. So the coaches, you end up having even meaningfuls with the coaches, which gets really weird, and then you regret it in the morning because you just told them everything about your life.
Emotional secrets.
Yeah. Well, more importantly, did your nan go out with you?
No, my nan was knackered, bro. She went straight back to the hotel.
Oh, bless her. Right, Mark, come on then, steer us in a direction, because I know where we're going with it.
Let's get into the game of the weekend. First things first, from your perspective, amazing performance. Talk us through your try, though, because that really set fire to the game.
Yeah, we had worked on that a little bit during the week, but to be honest, where we called it off when Finn called that play, I was really against it. I was like, nah. I was like, don't call it because they've only got 6 meters to come up. I'm scared I go get hit man and ball. Finn's like, nah, we're calling it. And then we went through the move, and for some reason, I suppose they didn't get off his line as I thought they would. There was a bit of space for me there, and then I just had to kind of fall over the line, which was gone.
I wonder whether that's absolute maverick from Finn Russell. I don't think it is because, like you said, you don't call that on the line because they've got 5 yards on you.
Yeah, he hit him with that reverse psychology.
Yeah, because they weren't expecting either. They're like, "What? Nah, surely not."
Yeah.
Oh mate, how good! And then they're already again fucking got to steer away from this nan chat. But even the celebration when you're pulling the old fingers to the crowd, and then people have put it on social media saying you were pointing to your gran.
Oh my goodness!
I let the truth get in the way of a good story.
It looked to be really spicy out there, and it came off. It came on the watching it. It looked like there was some serious niggle going on.
Right, was flying into you, boy.
Yeah,
right. He was loving it, wasn't he?
Hey, why are you barking?
Come on, give us a scoop.
What's he saying?
Nah, he was. I know Tom Wright quite well actually, and it's one of those weird ones. It's kind of like the 1872 game. It always ends up when you're playing your mates. That's when you start chirping the most. It's not even when you play your worst enemy. You know what I mean? It's like when you're playing your best mates. It's always way more chippy. But I knew the game was going to be like that, and to be honest, I know how I am when I get into those type of games as well. So I was prepared for it.
But there was one moment where you took a big old shot. You took a big old shot. You told me you felt like you'd been hit by a bus.
Yeah, bro. Genuinely, when I honestly felt like someone climbed through my body, bro. I literally popped up. I was like, what the hell was that? Because genuinely, I'd never been hit like that, genuinely in my career. And all I was thinking that after the game, I was like, that must be what like Origin's like just dodging tackles like that for 80 minutes. It's horrendous. Yeah. Right. But bro, he got me so clean, and when I popped up, I honestly didn't know who had hit me because it happened so fast. So when I popped up, I was looking around to see who it was. Then obviously I saw Joseph he was on his ground, and I didn't know if he had a stinger or I know something was wrong with his shoulder. But then he wasn't too pleased after that. But nothing.
What was he saying then? He wasn't too pleased. Sorry for some context here for anyone that didn't watch the game or Joseph Suaalii. Suaalii?
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying it right? Yeah, Joseph Suaalii has come in and absolutely belted you. Mate, you've read you on the your feet have left the ground, but he's wrecked himself in the making of it. And you're saying he wasn't too happy with it, or he wasn't too happy with the words exchanged after? Or?
No, I'm not too sure, Will, to be honest. I'm not too sure what he was angry about, but he seemed to be not pleased about something. But
he was hissing. I was like, what's been said there?
Oh, the red mist went, the eyes went, bro. The crazy eyes came out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of repeating stuff that gets said on the pitch, Will. So I'm sure you're
true. Yeah, fair.
I don't want anything to come back and bite me. But it was funny though because after it, Finn goes to me, "Did you get him?" And I was just like, "I don't know." And then he was just like, "Your feet were in the air." I was just like, I thought it was going to start, and obviously straight after the game, I wanted to see what it looked like, you know what I mean, on video because it felt giant and genuinely, I reckon it was exactly how it felt. It was so big, bro.
Yeah.
Mate, he's a big old unit, eh? No, just a word on him. Like 21 years old, proper leaguey, like they're saying he's like Izzy Folau vibes, eh?
I honestly reckon he's a freak, bro. And we prepared for, we knew the restarts were going to be a big part of the game. How Australia, the Wallabies have been using him, and genuinely, like we're lifting locks, like 2-man lifts, and he's running up and just not even getting like a contested tap back. Like he's just getting all ball with his palm.
Full AFL vibes, yeah. Just climbing it.
Genuinely, there's honestly nothing we could have done about that either. So, no, they've obviously found something in him, and bro, like you say, he's only 21. He's only going to get better and better. So, I hope he's all good to play this week because I'd love to see how he goes against Ireland and what trouble he can cause against them.
Nons, you don't need to come in on this, but have you boys heard about the cash he's getting?
Isn't it 2 million Aussie or 3 million?
I think that might win up. I heard 1.5 million Aussie a year for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but it's looking like money well spent, to be honest.
I think they're trying to get someone else as well.
For me, though, right, with that, I think it's smart. I think it's smart from the Aussie Union to try and bring people like that in, not just for the way they play, but like create superstars. The Lions going there next year. They want to try and create like a big story around it. They're going to sell shirts because of it. Like everyone's going to be wanting to buy a Suaalii shirt like back in Oz, and they're trying to reignite it. I think it's pretty smart from the Aussies.
Yeah, it gets NRL eyes on as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they've nailed it genuinely, and even over the last, because the media was on the Wallabies' backs after the rugby championship, and for him to come in only over the last 2 games with England and Wales, and straight away there was positive media around the Wallabies. It was actually good to see, and with the Wallabies playing good, it's world rugby in general is a better place just because everyone's used to seeing Wallabies, as a good team, So in the last couple of years, that's been a weird thing where they haven't been. But I think they're definitely heading in the right direction with new coach and guys like Joseph coming into the fold.
So you said Scotland were probably about a 6 out of 10 at the weekend, but you've dusted them up. Was that because Scotland are starting to click, or is that what is that? How do you feel in the camp? Because the boys are looking pretty sharp.
Yeah, I just I suppose I know it's strange to compare it to a loss to South Africa, but I know Gregor spoke about it as well. But I generally felt like we played better against South Africa than we did against the Wallabies, and whether or not that was because maybe we were emotionally on a bit on another level, but I still thought the emotion was really good yesterday. But I definitely think that the whole performance was probably better against the Springboks than it was against the Wallabies.
Speaking of emotion, is it weird for you when you play Australia? Actually, born there, for those who don't know, born there, went to school there, kind of grew up there.
Well, in terms of playing the Wallabies?
Yeah, does it feel strange?
Yeah, it does. I suppose because I had already done it before. The first time, when I lined up and I listened to the Australian anthem, it was quite weird. You know what I mean? And then you add on top of that you're playing some of your mates, and I had also Isaac Kalia that came off the bench. He's actually my cousin that I grew up with in Melbourne. He came off the bench for the Wallabies. So all of that added to it. It still is strange, but I love those games where you play your friends because there's always added. I suppose you want bragging rights and everything. That's always added stick in it.
Oh, mate, can you imagine like the sort of shit chat going forward and backwards in this game? This bloke's going to be lined up against his brother in about a month when he plays in the 1872 Cup. I cannot wait because I can just imagine you boys going at each other.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's probably got more ammunition than anyone does. No one really knows about my life back in where Steph knows everything about me. So. I don't know. In some ways, I am really looking forward to it, but in other ways, I just have to get my head around getting at him.
Blair was given man of the match, which a couple of people probably could have been up for it. But have you noticed a difference since he's moved to France and kind of won everything?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've told Blair this as well, but to see him do what he did last year, there was no one I was more happy for. Just because. While he was at Edinburgh, I knew he went through that period where he was trying to play 10. And, I've never seen actually, he was ridden so hard during that period from the media and maybe from fans and stuff like that and the expectation. And then I suppose he got that opportunity to go to Toulouse and play free and play confident. And I think you saw the best Blair Kinghorn from there on. And now I think he's brought that to the Test arena. And, no, I even said before the game, I'm quite close with Blair and spent a lot of time with him in the camp. And I I was hyping him up 2 days before the game, saying you're in for a big one, yeah. And then he, all fullbacks. Wilson tell you this: all fullbacks hate playing on the wing. So they think if they play on the wing and they play shit, it's not their fault because they weren't at 15. So I knew he was stoked to be back at 15 this week, and he was going to rip in.
Mate, like just with that, and with players like Blair Kinghorn winning for Toulouse a Champions Cup, winning what he's won in the top 14, and then the boys at Glasgow obviously doing the URC last year, that breeds confidence into the Scotland team, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You just, I suppose, you just have more experience in the bigger games now, and I suppose before that we didn't really. The only kind of winners we had was Finn, and that was back in dinosaur days when he won with you, Wilson. So it was,
mate, big win that. 2015.
yeah. Did you pay you to bring up the time?
No, you should see it at the club. It's so sad, right? The photo of like us winning it in 2015 was huge, and they've shrunk it down to like a fucking A4 piece of paper and put it next to their giant one at the fucking top now. Literally a fucking A4 piece of paper. You got to get a little. Mike, who's that then?
Who's in that squad?
Sad. Sorry, Nons, but yeah, go on. Like that, it was a big win, and that's going to breed confidence into the Scotland team, right?
Yeah, definitely, and I think also like experience from different competitions. Like now we have Finn who took Bath to a final in the Prem, but then also Blair who's won the double in the top 14, and now there's I suppose experience throughout the squad of playing in big games, but also in different competitions against different opposition, which is quite useful in comps like the Autumn Nations and the Six Nations.
Quick word on someone Ryan raves about and thinks he's mightily underrated. He never really seems to get many of the column inches, but like Cheslin Colby or Curtly Amundsen, he seems to make things happen every time he gets on the ball. Darcy Graham, what's your take on him as a talent?
Oh, he's my missus' favourite player. Lara loves Darcy. But genuinely, out of all the players that I've played with, he has that thing that you can't teach, and he has like also a really like abnormal way of running, if you know what I mean. Like I suppose Cheslin still has the silky footwork, but it's all like traditional footwork. Obviously, you still can't stop it. Where Darcy does this weird, like he just starts hopping around the place and like ducking under and like weaving and funneling through all these weird little holes. No one really plays like him, but yeah, and I think it's just he's so unique and you can't really prepare for him, and he just finds ways to get on ball. And I can't say enough about Darcy and how he's played during this Autumn Nations.
Darcy versus Duhan, right? They're both just trying to get this record and keep extending it. You guys are obviously aware of this. Does that ever seep in now? Is there the competition? And perhaps, if you've got a 3-on-1, are you passing to Darcy over Duhan or the other way round?
Oh, no, it's constant chat in camp about it. But I always tell Dewey, Darcy's a lot younger, so you better start scoring. You better start getting a lead because I can't see Darcy slowing down. And with his little rig, I can see him playing to like 34 or 35, where I reckon Dewey's knees are dust soon.
Nons, just on the captaincy stuff, how have you found it? Because for me, when you made it, and I know like a few people, I put something on social media and a couple of people messaged saying, "Oh, you fucking out of order, Wills. Thought Finn was your mate." Like, Finn is my mate. But I know you so well, like the way you are around the boys, the passion that you pour into it. How have you found it, mate? Because I know for a fact that the Scotland fans absolutely love Sione Tuipulotu with his Scottish granny being captain of Scotland.
Yeah, I have really enjoyed it, Wilson. I can't say it's all been what I thought it would be. I think you would know as well, Wiz, but like captaining club is so much different to captaining country, and there's so much more requirements with being the skipper and everything. But I've genuinely, the help that I got from Finn, like I think on game day, Finn drives a lot of what we do still, and he's still that person for us, like he's the number 10, he's our best player, he leads us around. But I suppose for me, I suppose once I was clear about what was expected of me, and I was just I knew they had put me in there just to be myself. And I suppose if that's to drive the emotion within the team or, try and galvanise us to head in the same direction, I suppose that's my role in the team. And, I don't need to try and be someone that I'm not. I'll never, be. That's just my style of leadership. And, if I really enjoy that part of the game, also, as you know.
That's why I think I enjoyed the whole thing around your nan, like over the last week or so, is because a lot of people see the name on the back of your shirt, Tuipolotu, and be like, well, hold on, Tongan. Then they hear the accent and go Aussie. But for them, like the narrative they built around your nan being there, for me, I was buzzing with it because then you get a lot of Scotland fans that aren't massive rugby fans, don't watch Glasgow or don't watch Edinburgh, don't really know too much about the club game, but then they go and watch the Scotland game and then hear you speak, see your name and be like, hold on a minute, what's going on here? But for them to really understand, there's a bloodline there. Your nan's proud Scottish. She's even got a Scottish accent still, isn't she?
Yeah, I know. It's actually so nice for me because now people get to, like, I swear before it was just like, oh, yeah, he's got a Scottish ground, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, all right, mate. Like,
yeah, she's real.
Ground,
yeah. Mate, disclaimer, that actually isn't his nan, by the way, Mark.
Just worth all the money. That actually worth every penny.
But go on, that for you, it's important, eh?
Yeah, and it's cool that now people get to put a face to it, like a face to my heritage. And I don't know, bro. It was just because, like I said before, it's kind of always just been like, that was always the stick that I got, that I understand that I wasn't born here or raised here, but I want everyone to know that I do have heritage, and my gran is real super proud of me for coming over here and representing her. So, it was special for me, bro.
There was a little sly dig from Will Skilton in the week. Did you see that?
What was that?
Big Willie. It was like, we're really happy to see an Australian captain in Scotland. I was like, come on, big boy.
No hanging fruit, baby. Yeah.
You're just like, here we go. But listen, I caught up with Nic White after, and he was like, mate, Nons hasn't made many mates in today's game. He said you properly riled the boys up. But I love it. That's what you want in rugby. People want to see it. People want to see that on the field. Like, it's so good. And also, I said to White, fuck off, White. You were the worst for it when you play, man.
Exactly. Horrible sledger. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. So good.
So, where do you think this Scotland team is at now?
To be honest, I think we're in the best place that I've been since I've joined. Whether or not that means, I'm not a big fan of talking and we're on the the cusp of winning something before we've even done it or we're even close to it. And I thought the South Africa game really showed where we were, in terms of against the best in the world. And look, obviously we're not there yet, and that was obvious from that game and the scoreline. But it does give me encouraging signs that we are building, and also we're not just staying in the same place. I know Gregor's been the coach for a long time now, and I think it's important for the public to see at least there is growth.
What would be a successful Six Nations for you guys?
Ooh.
No, I think the cringe thing is that every team a successful Six Nations should be to win, to win the Six Nations. That's the reality. I think Italy should feel that way, like the way they're playing. They shouldn't think, to go into the next Six Nations, the top three for them is a successful tournament. I think they're good enough that they could win the tournament with the way they with the way they're playing and the squad they have. And I think it's the same for us, but. Ultimately, we haven't ticked that box yet, and I don't think we have the right yet to speak about we're favourites or we're playing really good rugby that deserves, recognition that we should, be one of the favourites leading into the Six Nations. It's not. I don't really care about any of that, to be honest. I just want us all to come back into the Six Nations in good form. So that means going back to our clubs now and ripping in. And this is always the part of the year that I really enjoy because we've got the Europe games and we've got the 1872 games. So this part of the season doesn't feel like a battle to me. This part of the season is really exciting because there's such fun rugby. And then as long as you keep hold your form, then you got a chance to play in those big games in the Six Nations.
Are you going to get away this week? Because you got a week off before you come back in. And then, like you said, roll into the Champions Cup, 1872 Cup games, Christmas. You getting away or you sticking about Glasgow?
To be honest, bro, I'm pretty keen to just stay in my little place in Glasgow, and I think my granny is too, just with how hectic the last couple of days have been for her. And
she can't go out in Glasgow anymore. She's so famous.
Mate, we're about to go get a rum and dio, Wilson. I know you're a big fan. We're about to go hit that tonight.
Oh, mate, how good. How good.
Obviously, it's a massive year. We talk Six Nations and everything. At the end of it, the Lions coming up over in Australia. What does that mean to you from your perspective?
I was asked this in the presser after the game as well. I've said that when anyone's asked me that, I really want to go on that tour. Like any rugby player in the UK should feel like I really want to go, and that's what I'm aiming for. But to be honest, it feels so far away, and there's all these games between the Championship Cups, 1872 games, 5 Six Nations games, and then the home run to win for your club. That feels like so much rugby to me than to talk about, Lions stuff. And, as long as I can keep my head down, genuinely is how I feel. If I can just keep my head down and keep playing hard and staying emotionally invested for Glasgow, and I know I'm emotionally invested for Scotland, then, hopefully I'll give myself the best chance. But it's generally so far away, and there's stiff competition out there. But, I really love to go.
We've already called it on the show. It's fine. You're fine. You're going because we call it here, and you're our starting 12, right?
Well, I'll wait for you, but no. We've penciled you in there, mate. And also, I think the way you upset the Aussies at the weekend, I think they're going to love taking you over there just for a laugh. Imagine the Lions fans; they'll fucking love it. They'll love it.
Well, that's it. That's a huge thank you for coming on, Sione, and taking us through a fabulous victory. Well done. First campaign as the captain. I think a perfect way to kind of finishing off. And good luck for the rest of the season. We'll be backing you all the way, mate.
Thanks very much, guys. Cheers. I'll see you guys soon.
What a boy. Well done, Wils. I mean, he is one of your mates.
He is a bloody legend, isn't he? What a bloke. What a legend. And like the way he speaks. And I joke there, spokesman, talking like a true captain. But that's the way he is. Like he's always been like that, the way he speaks. And fucking hell, like when he goes, like you'd lean to him in like talks before games, like, right, he's got the passion. He loved let's fucking trot, boys, let's trot.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? When you get a good talker, they rouse the emotion out of you and you can just feel the atmosphere. It's like a texture around you. Mate, so many good ones. Who was like Genji's very good. He gets you weird. I get weird when Genji speaks. Who else? But Big Bob Casey down at London Irish, he had some good ones.
I can imagine he was good.
Stu Hooper, actually, he could rouse you up to something, get you up to no good. Mate, there's been some excellent speakers. Excellent. Joe John Joyce. Oh, man. I've been spoiled.
Best one for you, Wills?
Again, there's a few like passionate people before an international, someone like a Greg Laidlaw, who's like fucking properly,
Scotsman,
and you knew how much it meant to him, like how proud he was, and like there was always these things when, like, do you remember when Gary Graham, they brought him into, he played for England, and then they brought him into the Scotland squad, and like we got asked, like, he wants to come in, and Greg was like, he slagged Scotland off in the fucking press, all this sort of stuff, and it was like, well, not really sure that's okay, because he was so proud about being Scottish, and that's why I fucking ultimately started like buying into it so much, because I was like, you saw it and you fucking wanted to be part of it. Yeah. So Greg was good. Big Al Kellett was good. He was like my first sort of captain. He like deep Glaswegian accent, fucking go out there, we'll bleed for each other, that sort of stuff.
Suck up to the boss. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, very, very smart, very smart. But let's continue the chat about that game, because like you said, they reckon they were 7 out of 10. Wallabies coming into it, I genuinely don't think they played anywhere near where they should have played in the game. I was a bit disappointed.
They started well, though. They didn't start very well. They were on the front foot. They dominated the gain line, but then it started unraveling. Their control of the game, the set piece started falling apart.
Scotland's defence.
Scottish D, and then obviously the tactical genius of Finn and the back three took over. I thought like the back row, that Carlo Tizzano guy looks very promising, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Prodigy. And looks grabby. Looks real grab, mate.
Big Bobby Valentini, Wilson, the captain, who just gets through a graft of work. Like, I get to see all the stats and stuff from like what's gone before, and you got Eddie Jones saying, "Mate, it doesn't work hard enough. Needs to work harder." And you look, and he's like matched Ardy Surveyor for fucking carries, like rucks hit. It just
they're not even like small ones; they're like big ones. He's running people over. He's running dudes over. Full-grown athletes, just backing them off like a Kardashian sister.
I feel like the Aussies, you could tell they were disappointed afterwards. The big telling will be this week against Ireland. Like we've sort of talked Ireland down there. We've said that Ireland aren't quite where we thought they were. I reckon the Aussies will have learned a lot more from that game against Scotland at the weekend going into this Irish game. It's a huge game, but we talked about who do they play? England, Wales. They've done the job there. They didn't get it done. They need to do something special because it has almost reignited this Lions tour. Everyone's talking about it now. Like we're talking about it there with Nons. Like he's riled them up. He's got to go on that Lions tour just because. See what he does to him. Like fuck! Imagine him in a Lions test against the Wallabies. It'd be so good.
He was so fired up though, wasn't he? Because it looked like everything that he was going into. There was chat every single play, right?
If you chuck Jack Dempsey in there as well.
Oh, mate, I was going to say, get Jack Dempsey in there. That would have been real spicy, yeah.
But I was a bit gutted for the Aussie boys, to be fair. I was a bit gutted for the Aussie boys. But let's see how they go against Ireland. That is the last test, isn't it? Obviously, that one's outside the window. So that's going to be an interesting one.
I can't foresee that. I think if they have the same sort of problems, they're going to struggle. I think Ireland's tactical sort of awareness and control of games is quite consummate still.
But I think the fact that Suaalii had to go off and then they put Keller into the centre.
It felt like a moment, didn't it?
It changed things a lot. Like I was gutted that he went off. Max, you know, he comes out on the pitch and fucking earths and shit.
Yeah, no, cool. I like him.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
I like him.
Mate, but do you know what I find interesting, man? I know you're saying he's a big freak. Like, obviously, Non said it himself. He was like, man, he's a proper freak. But he's not like some muscle-bound Hulk. He's like quite lithe in a weird way.
Yeah, but that was like Israel Folau, wasn't it? Like he was.
Mate, no. When you got up close to Israel Folau, it was all hamstrings and glutes and
yeah. But I think he is like I think that
like
Joseph.
But he's only 21, so he's still got time to get strangely large. Woof.
Yeah.
There's a good point from Nons about them practicing those restarts, knowing and putting big locks, and he could outjump. We saw it. He outjumped Mario Itoje as well against England, but off his own. Just on his own spring, and it was like, wow, he is freakish.
All Blacks.
What's going on there?
No. Hold on. I was. By the way, have you seen my fiddle toy, Max, today?
Stop getting early on the fiddle toys.
What have you got? Have you got anything?
No.
For people watching, I've got a clamp and a golf ball.
I've got nothing.
And I've been just pushing it in and out of there. Oh, that sounds a bit sexual. But I was more going on the sense that I'm gutted for the boys, TJ Perenara and Sam Cane, last games.
I know, that's
sad, isn't it? Like you see when they're walking off, and like how emotional. Imagine knowing that's your last hacker. When because he leads it. Imagine knowing that's your last one. Fucking sad, eh?
Doesn't that make you think, Ryan, though, how lucky you were? Because you were like kid in candy shop. You sort of assumed it might be your last because you got a final 50th bonus call up out of nowhere.
And for me, I knew it was my last one, and I celebrated by just kicking the utter arse out of it afterwards with a few beers. But for him, that's definitely a lot better. Leading the hacker the way, and then Sam Cane. What a bloke! What a fucking player! But yeah, the All Blacks. I don't know. Italy. It was pretty pumping. Where was it being played? Because that stadium, it looked like they were going mental. And this is it. When you face the All Blacks in Italy, the Italians were throwing everything at it, weren't they?
Yeah, they
heart, soul, piece of pizza and pasta, the whole fucking lot.
That's very, very, very PI, but I like it. Keep going.
Are you not allowed to say that? Are you not allowed to say
that? It's just funny. But anyway, continue.
Max, did you watch the game?
The All Blacks game?
Yeah.
I just was looking at the score every now and again. And
I was like, Italy were great, so passionate. Great.
Yeah, and that's how they are. So and for me, we know we've spoken about the All Blacks. We love where they are. We wanted them to do well. We always do. But Italy putting up a fight, it makes me even more excited for the Six Nations. So it was a good game. Listen, the All Blacks have been brilliant, I think, this autumn's. But we've got a good Six Nations on our hands now, boys. That's the opening game, Scotland, Italy at Murrayfield, actually, for the opener. So, yeah, we'll see where everyone's at.
Great try for Minoncello at the end there. But we've sort of skirted in and around how Ireland are doing. That match against Fiji. Let's start with you, Ryan. Ireland did respond to that criticism from the both of you, I think, with that rather emphatic demolition of our dear brothers from Fiji. Thoughts on Fiji's tour, Ryan?
I hate to say it, but I've been a bit disappointed. I've been a bit sad if you look back and see how they've performed. They really haven't done as well as I think they should, as well as the players that they've got in that group. Like, if you know what I mean, some of the players they've got in there, they should be pushing teams a bit better. I mean, I know they beat Wales. I think they should have hammered Wales even more, looking at how who they've got and where Wales are. If you flick down, 52 points, 17 against. You know what I mean? I love them. I'm Tosso VT all the way, but they've not really progressed as much as I would have liked to see Fiji. And there's always learnings they'll take from it. They're in a better place than a lot of other countries, but they're talking about beating the tier 1 teams. They'll be frustrated in their own camps, and we should have done better.
Yeah, but how hard is it to have players everywhere then coming in, then some come and some don't come, and I suppose in Scotland you always had most of your people, almost everybody together. Surely that's got to make things slightly more difficult to get into it and gel.
No, because by the time after the Scotland game was outside the international window, when they finished the Scotland game, everyone was allowed in and they were back together. So they've been together 3 weeks. But again, this is the argument. Like, it's the breakup of games. They had that Spain game in between 2 hard tests. It was just a bit random. But listen, they're all right. They're in a good place. They've got some unbelievable players. They just need to find a way of bringing them all together a little bit better. And Ireland were good. Max, why are you standing up? What's going on? Do you need to toilet? Do you need to go?
Lads, my sciatica is killing me.
Right, Max,
sorry, I can't sit down for this long. I can't sit down for that long.
Okay, fair enough. And word on Ireland, guys.
Or what, overall?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think we stick with the narrative, right?
Yeah, a bit clunky.
Clunky? They scored 8 tries, all of them from set pieces.
Nah, a bit clunky.
That's always where you're going to unwrap Fiji, but that's always been their sort of Achilles heel.
Yeah, I'm actually going back.
A mainstay of the Lions pack, essentially. Come on now. Come on.
Okay, here we go. Perfect segue into. Thank you for your really voluminous offering on.
Are you going to? Can you not just reference the comment? It was, I'd be really salty about Ireland if I was a 14-1 Wilson. I was like, yes, give it to me.
Well, sadly, that is all the time we have got left for this week. A huge thank you to Ryan, Max, as always, and to Sione for coming on and taking us through Scotland's win over Australia. And to you all for listening and watching. Do comment, do like. We comment back, but we will see you all next week. Bye.
Like and subscribe, baby. Like and subscribe.
Ta-ta for now. More or nothing.